Hi, Andrew here, and I'm back. I know I've been away, and I've been away very much on purpose. It's summertime, and the living is easy, and the fish are jumping, and whatever the heck else George Gershon wrote in that song. And that's literally what I spent the last week doing. Fish jumping. Well, the family and I went up to Northern Ontario and rented a little cabin on Lake Nipissing, and we went out and caught fish. One day, kid 3 caught 40 plus fish. It was great. We had a lovely time. Got up at relatively early in the morning and took a stroll with wifey. We went canoeing, we motorboated a little bit, got out on the paddle boards, and just generally chilled and relaxed. But doing this took me out of my routines. I've talked a lot over the last 6+, I guess it's 7 months now, about using small disciplines to develop micro habits to create 1% improvement, to develop routines that become habits, the habits of success, to control my mental health problems. The ADHD is the thing that I'm working on specifically right now, but the underlying problem of the depression is absolutely a part of this. And my morning routine, to do my letters of affirmation, to do my meditation, to do my yoga, to get a proper nutritious breakfast and get the day set up and into the shoot, all of that straight out the window. And why do I bring this up? Because normally, if I've got a streak going and it's a big streak, going weeks or months, giving it up, losing it, having it end, causes me tremendous difficulties. A broken streak is a letdown, it's a defeat, and that feeling of defeat, of having let myself down, is one of my big depression triggers, and losing the streak can often lead to a depressive spiral. That was part of the combination of factors that cost me the entire fall of 2022. Depressing events leading to broken streaks that put me into a terrible spiral. And so here I was not doing most of my morning routine. And it's vacation time, so you tack on to that bedtimes and rise times. Well, I was getting up reasonably well. Wifey and I were getting up at 6:30 and taking a stroll together, but there was no room. There's no real place for me to sit down and write my letters. There was nowhere I could do my yoga. So I was really out of my routine. We get back and the boys and I continue to play and have fun together, and this is awesome. But bedtimes went absolutely to hell. One night I went to bed after 3 a.m. That's a no-go zone, because another one of my major triggers is being overtired. Lack of sleep is just throwing the door open to depression. And so then sleep in, okay, but that wipes out my morning routine, leaving the door wide open for depression to enter. And I'm sitting here laughing, and perhaps quite visibly, I'm not in a depressive spiral. So what is the difference? The difference is I prepared myself before I went, knowing I was going to have to give up these things. I knew I was not going to be in my normal routines. And so I had mentally armored myself with, this won't cause a spiral. So that was good. And when we got back, in spite of that one really bad night, I was getting up at a more normal time, and I was still getting my exercise in, even if it wasn't my morning yoga. And that helped as well. Another thing that I was fighting, weather changes in this chunk of central Ontario where I live, severe disturbances in the weather I had a migraine I was fighting. And one of my migraine triggers is also being overtired. So I was really setting myself up for a fall. I was, if I wasn't doing it consciously. But I was doing it consciously. I was doing it by choice. And it's a funny thing that choosing, allowing myself, I guess it's kind of like when people go on ketogenic or Atkins or whatever diets, but they allow themselves cheat day. And one day a week, they're allowed to eat whatever they want. They don't have to obey the rules. And allowing that cheat, preparing themselves, allows them to not get down on themselves for breaking the diet. Ray Edwards, in his Clarity course, talked about scheduling everything, where, and the example he gives, if you spend the day lazing in bed, binging Netflix, you feel you've screwed yourself and you get down on yourself. But what if you schedule 3 hours to laze in bed and binge Netflix? Well, now it's just a part of your schedule. It's actually an accomplishment. It's the mindset that takes care of it. Well, that mindset, if we fast forward to today, Tuesday, the end of the long weekend, 6:15 rolled around, my feet hit the floor, I went over, I brushed my teeth, I got myself dressed, I went downstairs, I grabbed my papers, and I started writing. I finished my letter, I rolled out the yoga mat, I meditated. I lay down, I did my back maintenance yoga. I got up, I wandered over to the coffee machine and the stove, and I started cooking my normal breakfast. I was to the office at my normal 7:30 to 8 o'clock time to sit down and begin cleaning out my in-mail basket and getting my work week going. In other words, the habits, the routines came right back. Because I didn't lose them, I put them to the side. I set them down to be picked up again when I went back to my normal life. And so far, it seems to have worked. That adjustment of mindset has been critical for me being successful in picking it back up. And here I am. Thank you very much for watching. That was my time. Now it's your time. And in the meantime, take care, and you'll see me soon.